California is one of the best states in the country to own a car. Incredible highways, year-round driving weather, road trips people fly in from around the world to take. But California is also the worst state in the country to park one. Over 136,000 vehicles were stolen in California in 2025. That is more than any other state by a massive margin, nearly double the number in Texas. According to national data, the majority of those thefts happen at night, peaking between midnight and 1 in the morning. The most common location is not a parking garage or a mall lot. It is streets and residential curbs. In other words, overnight street parking is where most of the damage happens. In plenty of California cities, parking on the street overnight is completely normal. Millions of people do it every night and nothing happens. But there are cities where doing that is basically volunteering your vehicle for the statistics. Locals will tell you that if you do not have a garage, you do not park outside after dark. And these are not always the ones you would expect. These are 10 California cities where overnight parking has become a genuine risk, backed by real data. Number 10, Modesto. Modesto sits in the Central Valley on Highway 99, about 90 minutes east of San Francisco. Population around 218,000. For years, the Modesto metropolitan area has appeared on the National Insurance Crime Bureau's annual Hotspots report for vehicle theft, consistently ranking well above national and state averages. The problem concentrates south of downtown near the 99 corridor and around the commercial strips on McHenry Avenue. Catalytic converter theft has been a particular plague here because of the concentration of older trucks and sport utility vehicles. A converter can be cut out in under 2 minutes and sold for between $50 and $250. Modesto has a lot going for it: affordable housing and proximity to Yosemite. If you move here and park on the street, locals will tell you to invest in a steering wheel lock and a dash cam before you unpack your first box. Number 9, Vallejo. It is in Solano County on the northeastern shore of San Pablo Bay. Population around 121,000. The city went bankrupt in 2008, and when the budget was slashed, the police department lost a huge chunk of its officers. That staffing gap never fully recovered, and property crime, especially vehicle theft, has operated in an enforcement vacuum ever since. The violent crime rate gets the headlines, but the vehicle theft numbers are what affect residents on a daily basis. Car break-ins near Interstate 80 off-ramps are so common that some residents leave their doors unlocked just to avoid replacing a smashed window. That is not an exaggeration. Thieves have broken windows over a phone charging cable visible in the center console because it suggests a device might be nearby. Areas near the waterfront are generally safer. The corridors near Interstate 80 and Sonoma Boulevard are where the risk spikes after dark. If you do not have a garage, park under a streetlight with absolutely nothing visible inside. Number 8, Bakersfield. Bakersfield is in the southern San Joaquin Valley. Population around 403,000. The Bakersfield-Delano metro area recorded one of the highest vehicle theft rates of any metro in the entire country in 2025, at roughly 477 thefts per 100,000 people. That is nearly double the national average. The problem got bad enough that Governor Newsom deployed the California Highway Patrol here in a special partnership starting April 2024. That operation has recovered over 1,300 stolen vehicles and led to over 3,300 arrests. The city reported 2024 as its safest year since 2021. Vehicle theft, while improving, remains elevated. Risk zones concentrate along the Highway 99 corridor, particularly in the neighborhoods south of the Kern River and in parts of East Bakersfield. The commercial areas around Union Avenue are spots where residents say you do not leave a car unattended after dark. During the day, these strips are busy and functional. After midnight, the calculus changes completely. If you are moving to Bakersfield, a home with a garage is not a luxury. It is a practical necessity. Fresno is the 5th largest city in California with over 540,000 people. It is the economic engine of the Central Valley, surrounded by some of the most productive farmland in the world. And the San Joaquin Valley region, which includes Fresno, recorded the highest violent crime rate in California in 2024 at 603 per 100,000 residents. That is 25% above the state average. South Fresno and West Fresno are the highest risk areas for overnight vehicle crime. Property crime rates run above the state average, and auto theft is a consistent contributor. Fresno County was one of only 3 among California's 15 largest counties where property crime actually increased in 2024, going up 1.8% while most of the state was trending downward. When an entire state is improving and your county is going the other direction, that tells you something. Fresno is genuinely improving in many ways. The downtown has been revitalized and the food scene is growing. But residents in certain neighborhoods describe a nightly routine of moving their car into the driveway, activating dash cams, and checking Ring cameras before bed. That is not how people in safe cities think about their vehicles. Number 6. Compton. Compton is in South Los Angeles County, between the 105 and the 710 freeways. Population around 98,000. The city has made real progress since the 1990s, with new development, rising property values, and an aggressive rebrand that has been successful in many ways. But the vehicle crime numbers have not caught up to the new narrative. The overall crime rate is still roughly 279% above the national average. Vehicle theft and break-ins remain among the most common complaints from residents, particularly along Wilmington Avenue, Long Beach Boulevard, and near the Artesia Transit Center. These are the corridors where overnight parking risk is highest. Compton has real community. Families have been here for generations, and there is genuine pride in the changes that have been made. But if your rental does not come with covered parking, that is something to factor into your decision. Locals treat overnight street parking the way they treat leaving a window open. Technically fine, but you are making it easy for someone looking for an opportunity. Number 5. Richmond. Richmond is in the East Bay on Interstate 80 and Interstate 580. The population is around 111,000. The city has made nationally recognized progress in reducing violence, with a 43% drop in firearm-related deaths since 2022 through its Office of Neighborhood Safety. But vehicle crime remains stubborn. Car break-ins at BART Park and Ride lots are a constant issue. The property crime rate runs over 33 per thousand residents, and the contrast within Richmond is stark. Point Richmond and the Marina are genuinely nice. A few blocks in the wrong direction, the energy shifts completely. For overnight parking, the local rule is simple. Near freeway exits or industrial zones, do not leave your car on the street with anything inside it. In the residential neighborhoods further from the corridor, the risk drops significantly. Number 4. Stockton. Stockton sits on Interstate 5 and Highway 99 in California's Central Valley. Its population is around 320,000. When it comes to vehicle theft, Stockton has been one of the most consistently problematic cities in California for over a decade. Vehicle theft here runs at nearly 16 per thousand residents, one of the highest rates in the entire country. That means for every 1,000 people, roughly 16 vehicles are stolen each year. If you park on the street in the wrong neighborhood and walk away, the odds of your car being there in the morning are genuinely not great. The South Side neighborhoods and the areas around Charter Way and the 99 corridor are where theft concentrates most heavily. Stockton went bankrupt in 2012, and the understaffed police department created an enforcement gap that auto thieves exploited aggressively. The city has recovered financially and crime is trending down, but the overnight parking culture has not changed. Steering wheel clubs, kill switches, and GPS trackers are standard equipment for Stockton residents who park outside. Not paranoia, just math. Number 3. San Bernardino. San Bernardino is at the intersection of Interstate 10 and Interstate 215 in the Inland Empire. Population around 226,000. And here is the number that matters for this video. The auto theft rate in San Bernardino runs at approximately 99 per 1,000 residents. Let me put that differently. For every 1,000 people living here, roughly 100 vehicles are stolen each year. Auto theft is not just a crime in San Bernardino, it is practically an industry. The police department vacancy rate has been reported as high as 41%. When nearly half the positions that should be filled are not, response times for property crime become functionally meaningless. Governor Newsom deployed California Highway Patrol officers here starting October 2024, and that partnership has produced 357 felony arrests and 145 recovered vehicles in the first 7 months. Crime overall has dropped roughly 20% since 2019, and homicides are down 40%. But 20% down from catastrophic still leaves you at alarming levels. Redlands is 10 minutes east, Rancho Cucamonga is 20 minutes west. Both are dramatically safer. That is the math residents have already done. Number 2, Oakland. Oakland is in Alameda County on the east side of the San Francisco Bay. Population around 440,000. The San Francisco-Oakland metro area recorded the highest vehicle theft rate of any metropolitan area in the country in 2025, at 477 thefts per 100,000 people. Oakland has been dealing with a vehicle crime crisis that goes beyond simple theft. Organized smash and grab car break-ins became so widespread that residents began leaving handwritten signs in their windows saying nothing inside, "Please do not break the glass." That was the point the city reached. People were negotiating with thieves through their car windows. The California Highway Patrol partnership contributed to a 33% decline in vehicle theft in 2024. That is real progress, and it deserves credit. But the numbers were so elevated to begin with that the remaining level is still high. East Oakland, West Oakland, and the Coliseum BART station remain the worst zones. Residents in these neighborhoods describe a culture of resignation about vehicle crime. It is not a question of if your car will get broken into, but when. If you are considering Oakland, covered parking is not optional. It is the single most important amenity in your housing decision. And if you are visiting and parking overnight, take everything out. Everything. That includes the owner's manual from the glove box if it has your address on it. And number 1, Emeryville. This one shocks people because almost nobody outside the Bay Area has heard of it. Emeryville is a tiny city wedged between Oakland and Berkeley. Population around 12,000. It has an IKEA, trendy loft apartments, and Pixar's headquarters. It also has the highest per capita crime rate in the entire state of California. Property crime runs at about 166 incidents per 1,000 residents. That is not a typo. The reason is structural. Emeryville is tiny in land area, but has massive retail centers that draw people from all over the Bay Area. Bay Street Mall has been a repeated target for organized theft. The parking lots around the shopping areas are where a huge portion of the property crime happens. Because the city is so small, there is nowhere within Emeryville that is removed from the problem. The entire city is the hot zone. Residents report having their cars broken into multiple times per year. Package theft is constant. The sense of security that the trendy lofts and coffee shops suggest does not match the reality of walking to your car in the morning and finding the window shattered. The branding says, hip, urban living. The data says you will spend more on window replacements than on your monthly gym membership. If you live in Emeryville without garage parking, you are playing a nightly lottery, and the odds are not in your favor. 10 cities. Some are mass Civ metro areas where the problem concentrates in specific corridors. Some are small cities where the per capita numbers are warped by commercial traffic. And some are places where vehicle theft has been so persistent for so long that locals have built their entire routine around it. California has plenty of cities where you can park on the street overnight and sleep soundly. These are not them. If you are planning a move and overnight parking is part of your reality, check the vehicle theft stats before you check the listing price. A cheap apartment in a high theft zone is not saving you money when you are replacing windows, catalytic converters, and eventually the car itself. If you have lived in one of these cities and have a parking horror story, drop it in the comments. If you think I missed a city that deserves to be on this list, I want to hear about it. I am always open to being challenged on this stuff.